Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
So today we have Michael Lamb with us from San Jose, and Michael is the Purple Dad, which is a very interesting story in itself. So Michael, it's great to have you. I want to just hear your kind of origin story of how you got to where you are now in terms of business.
Awesome, Bruce. Thank you so much for getting me on this call here. That's a big question. Ask how I got here. So are you asking how I got and started Kaydoh or
Well, yeah, we can get to Kaydoh, but
or
how you got into marketing and so forth.
great question. It's more of a out of a need. When I started out running my businesses, I didn't have money to hire anybody, so it just by need. I had to learn how to market, and through that, and through collaborating with other folks in our community, I kind of just grew into becoming more of an expertise in marketing, just learning from others.
So did you grow up in the San Jose area?
I did. I graduated from San Jose State,
Oh,
so I've been here. Geez, since 2005. It's been a
well,
while.
wow, you've seen an interesting transition in the valley. I mean, from 2005, that was kind of the kind of the beginning. It was
Yeah.
when things, well, that was the dot-com bust just slightly before that.
Right,
And then the boom happened.
right,
And then
right.
of course COVID came. But anyway, that was interesting times.
Well, it definitely was, and I remember during the time I was in college, everybody was worried about whether they could get a job or not, because people were going back into college during that time. And so when I graduated, it was the time where that lift started happening, and fortunately for me, I was able to catch that wave.
So what was your sort of first marketing item that you all of a sudden realized, oh, I love this. I want to go further with this?
That's a good question. It's I'm gonna say it had to start with when I started my first one of my first startups at Go Hire, where we built this system that went completely viral. And so
Hmm.
when I got that first taste, I was like, man, how can I repeat this? Or how can I get more involved in that? Because being involved in building anything is one thing, but then to see it actually go out on the market and then have thousands of people just use it instantly on a given day. That was that dopamine hit when I realized, man, this is incredible. This is what uh, a piece of what marketing can do.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And like when we got, the kind of going back to that company where I started in Go Hire, it was a system where, right now we all hear about ChatGPT, right? I'm
Right,
sure
right.
you've
Yeah.
heard of it, right?
Oh yeah, I use it all the time. Gonna use it
So
today for your title of your podcast, this podcast.
So it's crazy how it's mainstream now, but like back in like 2015, 2013, 14, we had like chatbots already being trying to get into mainstream, and I don't know how much you remembered, but it fell flat on its face.
Oh
But
wow.
at that time, we built one of the most viral chatbots. So it was a system where you can search for a job, and we had access to international jobs. It
Oh
wasn't
my
just in the
gosh.
US. So it was a system where you would speak to it, I'm looking for a job part-time in Kentucky, and it would respond back automatically, say, okay, here's a list of jobs you can select, and we would get paid on every time someone clicked on one of the jobs. And it was a bot on Facebook, and like within 30 days it went in over 100 countries,
Oh my
doing
gosh.
over 100,000 messages. It was crazy. It is all attributed to one person finding value out of it, and we didn't realize that person was a big influencer. He shared it out on Twitter, I think, and then from that it just blew up. And we had different also techniques within our system that made it more viral in terms of making it easy to share with others. And
Wow.
so getting that experience made me realize, man, you can't just have a great product. You also need to know how to market. You need to have that piece. Like a lot of times you can be very intelligent and have smart, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then if you don't think about how you're going to get it to market, that's like the other piece of the puzzle that many people fall on.
So what happened to Go Hire? Is it still around?
It's still around. Yeah, my co-founder is still running it. I quite frankly, got bored because it's in HR. So
Yeah, right.
I don't know how much people get excited when you hear
Yeah.
HR. For me, it was very slow moving, and that was the time when I was like investing in real estate, and I got
Oh,
into residential, get doing some flips, just getting more hands-on in the residential space, and that got me more involved in that community. And then I realized like maybe I should do something in that space. So I decided to leave Go Hire and then build out Kaydoh, and that's
wow.
been 7 years ago when we
So do
started.
you still own some properties that right now?
I do commercial and I do have residential. I'm more of a passive investor now because I'm now all full in Kaydoh. If I wasn't doing Kaydoh, then I would still be doing real estate.
Right, right. But you're sort of, are you still buying anything these days?
Uh, I don't know if this is the context, but yeah, we do commercial. I just got out of a deal, a horrible deal. I don't think today we want to talk about that, but it was a very interesting deal. But I think a lesson that I learned, or I think it emphasizes that how valuable an agent is in the transaction. It's incredibly valuable. Sometimes consumers think that I can just do it online. I'm always been a believer that agents are the key integral piece of a transaction, not because they handhold you and sign the dot. No, it's more of the emotional aspect. It's keeping that level-headed because I'm close to the money. So I'm stressed out whether the deal will go through or not, but the agent is going to come there and be very level-headed and say, "Hey, Mike, this is what's going to happen. This is what you should expect. Don't worry about these other things. I've done these deals so many times. I know exactly what's going to happen next." That a lot of times consumers don't understand that that's invaluable having an experienced agent to kind of calm you down in a transaction, make the transaction go through. And in particularly in my case, one of my commercial deals fell through because it was just a bad situation that the I can't speak on it because we were part of a lawsuit, but at the end of the day, we won the deal, and that was because I had the right agent having the right protection in the contract to get us out of the deal.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that is so critical to the whole uh, universe of commercial and residential real estate that, the agent in many ways can either help or hinder the whole process. And certainly, I think as we find going down the road, that building that respect and trust with an agent is key. And from the agent side, I think that's really what you're trying to build with Cato is that respect and trust that comes with the agent so that the marketing part of the piece actually reflects that and people know that they can go down the road with this person and make a good transaction.
1,000%. I mean, I've worked with bad agents and good agents, bad agents where you would ask them for, what do you think of the homes around this community? And the agent would respond, I don't know.
Oh,
Like, like literally, I don't know. And I'm like, dude, then why do I have you as
yeah.
my agent?
Why am I working with you? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, then you have really great agents that know everything inside and out, but they don't have a way to digitally showcase that. I mean, it's just like, all of us do business with people we like and trust, and to build trust, you need to have a resume that is credible. And for you to view that resume, how do you consume it? I mean, I can't just meet you face to face and just immediately know that you're credible. You're gonna have to back that up with something. And a lot of times it's gonna be the transactions you've done or showcasing how you've done your marketing. Like that goes in pair with you being in person and building a rapport, but then you're backing it up with something.
So give us a little walkthrough of what Cato does for either a residential or commercial agent.
Yeah, so Kaydoh, we're an all-in-one marketing hub that makes it very easy for a real estate professional to pull in all of their marketing assets or all the tools that they're using. Because most realtors or most real estate professionals don't just use one tool or one asset. They have multiple tools, multiple assets. They do different types of marketing. And when they meet somebody, there's no easy way for them to tell them, this is what I, Michael Lamb, does in residential or commercial. Here's my transaction. Here's my client testimonial. Here's my presentation. Here's a deal very similar to your situation. They can't quickly put that together. And Cato actually does that for you. So you're putting in your flyers, you're putting in your photos, you're even can make a quick little introduction video. You can drop that all in, and then now you're sharing that out to a prospect via email or a text message, and they get to see everything about you all in one page. A very cohesive, interactive page that makes it really easy for them to trust you because they see that video, they see all your assets, so you're proving your value through showcasing all of that.
So how long does this typically take if let's say a residential agent comes to you and says, "Okay, I want to buy Kaydoh." How
Mhm.
long does it take to kind of get up and running?
It depends on whether they already have those assets. A lot of times, if an agent is already a producing agent, that means they've already have listing presentations. They do them already. They already have some type of marketing asset that they've been trying to send out. So when we work with those types of agents, it's within a matter of minutes. The minute they sign up, they have it on the computer, they drop it in, the whole system just works right out of the gate. So,
Wow.
get to market. We've had people that get to market within 15, 30 minutes, and then they're able to do an open house with their whole
Oh,
page all
wow.
set up. We've had people within 14 days generate 3 listings in 14
Oh,
days
oh, wow. Oh,
by using.
well, that's an interesting question. So your system will help them generate listings.
Absolutely, because listings can come from all different angles, right? So when it comes to real estate, for example, I'll use this one good example because a lot of times realtors, especially the newer agents that get into the space, don't understand like true and tried methods, right? So a lot of times we get influence that from people saying that you got to be on social media, you got to be on Instagram, you got to do all these things to stay in the
Right.
business, which is not true. I work with hundreds of agents that are actually have zero visibility on social media and they're crushing it, right? Because they do
Wow.
print marketing, they do networking. There's many other things you can do offline. So kind of going back to a true and tried method is like, for example, open houses. Right. That's a
Right.
very true and tried method. This is where you meet the leads face to face and you have an opportunity to win them, especially when they don't have an agent, right? And
Right.
so what
Right.
Kaydoh does is we make it easy for you to not just have a standard property website, which everybody seems to be able to do or just pay for.
Right.
Our
Yeah.
product is not just a property page, but it's a sign in. So they just scan the QR code, they sign in, leads are collected, we qualify the lead. And a lot of times, what we're seeing is that neighbors, they come in and they look at these, how you do your open houses. And I'm thinking about one recent example. This lady who did a trial. She did an open house within that week, and she ended up getting a seller listing and getting 2 buyers in contract from the
Wow.
QR code from
Wow.
the open house page. And it's not because of the QR code itself that did it. It was because she presented everything in a manner that was very easy for that seller to understand this agent is the agent I should work with. She has it all organized. So as a person that's thinking about selling my property, I'm always looking at, well, what is my home really worth? And then who is going to be the right person for the job? Who can I trust will get the job done? And that's the key question. Who can I trust to get the job done? And a pillar of trust is showing them I'm organized. I'm not selling you anything. Just look at my body of my work. It's all here. This is how I operate. And now you can, when you have questions, you can expect that I'm going to have that type of professionalism with you.
So I'm curious, how does the pre-qualifying of a prospect work?
Yeah, so we have these forms that are automated. So when someone signs in, it automatically asks for the name, email, phone number. Are you working with an agent? Did you sign the buyer agency agreement? So when they answer those questions, that's how we qualify the lead. And those leads go into Kaydoh system. It gets delivered to the realtor via text, also email, and it can go into their CRM. So a real estate professional is going to get immediately that information, regardless of what system they use. They're just going to get on the phone with all the details to do the follow up. Within our system, we have different follow ups opportunities. We have AI technology that will actually clone your voice and call them and drop a ringless voicemail. And it'll say, "Hey, Mike, thanks for filling out the information. I'm Bruce here. It looks like you got me at a time when I'm unavailable. I'll give you a call back shortly later today." But it's your voice that sounds practically identical to you, and you're personalizing it. It's crazy.
Wow, that is pretty interesting. So just this year, obviously, the buyer's agent agreement had to come out. So has that affected your business?
It actually helped it
Oh,
because
really?
prior to that, agents weren't really trying to lead generate, right? They don't really make people sign in. But now with the new rules in place, the whole industry is conditioning the consumers. Like when you go to an open house, you're going to be expected to sign in or sign something. And but there's no solution. There's really no solution that made it really easy to do that. And Cato provides that where you're not even setting it up. It's just it's part of your workflow. You're going in, putting some photos of the property, creating a property site, but that's already built in the system. As in, you scan the QR code. That's
Right.
how they sign in, and they fill out the information through that approach.
Yeah. And then they sign the agreement and off you go from there.
Yeah.
So what happens if they've signed an agreement with a different agent?
Well, so that's not something Kaydoh handles at the moment. So it's we're collecting the information, and it's up to them to answer the question whether they've signed it or not, or they work
Yeah.
with the agent or not. We don't do any like validation. It's we're collecting that and giving that to the
Oh, yeah,
realtor,
yeah, yeah,
and the
yeah.
realtor is gonna have to like double, they'll have to do their due diligence.
So there is a question about do you already have an agent and so have you have you signed an agent agreement kind of
Yes.
yeah. So you're
Yes.
just collecting the information. If they haven't signed an agent agreement, then they sign one with this particular agent.
Right, right. And the leads come through instantly so that for them it's a hot lead and they can engage right away. And a lot of times, here's another example of how effective this is. A lot of times agents will have maybe a system that signs in and when the visitor comes in and signs in, they don't get an immediate notification that they signed in and they gave legitimate information. Within our system, you get an immediate text the moment they sign in. So when they come in and you tell them to sign in, you'll know on your phone if they sign in or not. You'll know right away the minute they hit submit.
So you also work with commercial agents. So give me a
Yes.
little walkthrough of the difference between the residential and commercial side of the equation.
Yeah. Commercial, I personally love. I think commercial is so ripe for better technology to help the commercial agent manage their inflow of traffic. So, a perfect example of how Cato helps commercial agents, and I have this one commercial agent I'm thinking of, how they're getting so much results is if you look at in commercial, the number one marketing asset a commercial listing will offer is the offering memorandum, right? The OM,
Right,
it's the
right,
digital OM.
right.
So as an investor, when I'm looking at properties, that's the immediate thing I want to look at, right? And I specifically love triple net lease investing. So I
Okay,
want to
right.
know,
Yeah,
what's the details. But a
yeah,
lot of times I'm on these search portals and they make me have to sign in to the realtors, to the commercial agent's website. And then when I
right.
do sign in, I don't even know where that document is. I get funneled into this like never-ending spam email, which is a horrible experience. But then you have to imagine, right? I'm looking at maybe six different OMs. That means I signed in to six different systems because each is a different brokerage, and then I get lost very quickly. So
Right, right,
what Cato does is we make it so that look, you can take your OM, your flyer, put it
right,
inside a Cato page so that now that link goes on to your search portal. It can be on LoopNet or Crexi. When the minute they want to look at that digital OM, it goes onto a completely branded page to the commercial agent. And then if they want that OM, they're gonna have to fill out the form. And the minute they fill it out, here's the experience. The visitor, the investor, immediately gets to see the OM. There's no waiting around. The minute they
right,
fill it
right.
out, they unlock that document, they get to view it. The commercial agent gets an immediate text message. Hey, someone just unlocked your OM looking at it, and here's all the details that we found out about this person.
Wow, wow.
So, right now in the industry, there's really no way to lead generate off of the OM in itself, just the document itself.
Right, right, right. you've got Kresge and you've got LoopNet and you've got CoStar, and they all have their good and bad sides to them. But that's very interesting. Yeah, when you go to an OM, how much information actually gets to the listing agent? Probably you have to kind of dig around to find that in those different websites. So,
Yes, and if you keep and with commercial, it's you don't know if they're still active. You don't know what's out there. I mean, LoopNet doesn't have 100% of the market. Crexi doesn't
no.
either. A lot of times, commercial agents, as you know, Bruce, have deals that are
Yeah,
in your pocket, and you're not so willing to go publicly tell people you got all these deals available because you want to make sure that it stays in your circle. I get it. I 100% understand how the commercial space works. However, when you're sharing a OM to an investor, you want to make sure that they stay in your system. So that's why you get
right,
them. You can either
right.
password protect the document or you can lead generate off of it. We've had commercial agents who've sold out a 22 unit building and they keep that property page in Kaydoh still active because they have a specific tile that says check availability. Even though they sold out, people are
Right,
still
right.
filling out the form because they want to know is there available unit. And that's so effective in commercial right now. Very
Oh
effective.
yeah. Oh, definitely, definitely. All right. Well, this sounds like every commercial and residential agent ought to come and talk to you, Michael.
Absolutely. It
So
should.
where would they find you? Where's the easiest way to get to you?
Quite frankly, our product is a strictly an invite only, so there is a wait list. So, but all you need to do is go to Kaydoh.com, join the wait list, and just let us know where you heard about us. And if you heard it from Bruce's team here and the podcast, then we'll let you right through the wait list. We can reach
That's
out.
fantastic. All right. We'll put this in there. I'm going to get on the wait list.
You don't even need to. I'll give you a fast track right into it. You don't need to, Bruce.
All right. All right. Well, let's keep in touch. I think there's a million things we can do together here.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you. Thanks for being on the podcast.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.